This is episode 3. Whoa. Episode number 3.
Yeah, today we went to the A World of Our Own show, which opened today at the Potentialist. And we got to check it out. It was really cool. Everyone should go.
Yeah, it's $20 for a day pass, but if you pay $30, then you have a month pass, which is really cool.
Yeah, and they're going to be doing a few different events there. So check their calendar out, check their website out, make a reservation.
Yep.
To go.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's really
with
fun.
Your COVID pod.
Yes.
Pod party.
It's super fun and immersive. And everyone should go check it out. And I'm going to play the GoPro walkthrough right now because we're going to be interviewing the artist really soon. We had to jump in late. And
yeah,
now
guys, we had some technical
And now
trouble.
It's real chaotic. We tried so hard. We really tried so hard to make it super smooth viewing this time. Yeah. And then, of course, it's like, cannot find Twitch account, but whatever. It's just how the cookie crumbles.
It's always the way. We're learning.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
All right. Let's roll into this.
I am the serpent, I'm Quetzalcoatl, fly like a...
Mike, all right, go. Now you got a riff about it.
Hey, everybody. So, I'm Alicia.
I'm Sprocket, and welcome to episode 3 of Signal Boost.
Well, thanks for being here. Oh, God.
Of course, someone's knocking at the door. Why?
So that was a walkthrough of A World of Our Own. That's a show that opened today. It's at the Potentialist Gallery. It's being put on by DreamMachine, which is an art collective. It's 3 women. It's Lina Hammond, Holly Spar, and Vera Alexander. Is that the right last name?
I'm not sure.
I apologize. Sometimes I feel a little put on the spot. Anyway, yeah, we went there today, checked it out. They're still installing more art. It's going to be open for a month. You can go get a single day pass for $20 or a month-long pass for $30 and go to all their events. You should check out their calendar. You can reserve a time slot for yourself or your COVID pod or even a private showing. It's really awesome. It's really bright and fantastical and chaotic. And also almost everything that's in there, you can buy it. So if you see something you love when you're viewing the show, make sure you check in about maybe making it part of your own home. So
Trying to log in.
we are currently getting set up to call in live to that show and talk to some of the artists. So we're going to be doing that in just a minute.
4 seconds. Hopefully.
And here we go.
All right.
We're getting
Let's see if
setting
they're
up
there. We're
see if
only
they're
3
there.
minutes late, guys. That's not bad.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're getting it. We're getting logged in right now. We're seeing if they're in the. We're still trying to figure out how to best use Zoom here. It's a
Yeah.
work in progress. So
It's hard too, so they're not on yet. So now we just have to hang out and wait for them to jump on, because they're at their art show right now. So it's probably kind of chaotic. It's opening night. I kind of can't even believe they want to do this interview with us
yeah,
at this moment. Because if I was them, I'd be like, oh god.
yeah.
Will you message them and see if they're gonna join?
Oh, she said we are setting up.
Okay, cool.
We got distracted. You
Yeah.
send the call. Did you send her the link
I sent her the Zoom link. Yeah.
to her email?
Oh no, I sent it to her as like a clickable link. All right,
Well,
I can send
let's put on a video in the meantime.
it. Sure. What should we?
We're just gonna skip right ahead and we'll throw on this Nino Santo video because we're going to be playing an interview a little bit later in the show that we did with Nino Santo yesterday. And so we thought we would play their newest music video, Sana Sana, just to give you some context for what we're going to be talking about in a little bit. So we'll just throw that on right now and we'll get worked out with the Dream Machine ladies.
Yeah. with
And
those
when we
artists.
get back, we'll have that interview ready for you. Thanks for bearing with us with this live action.
We're making it work. And yeah, and this Nino Santo interview that we pre-recorded on Friday is super dope. So make sure
Yeah,
you
definitely
stick
stick
around
around for that. Orlando has a lot of really great stuff to say.
for that. Yeah. He's a poet, so everything he says is like so good. Okay, let's throw this on.
Bird in the ground, the snake flow. Puños en el cielo y nopales en la cara. I stay sharp like a filero because this is for la raza. Fly like a kite en el viento. Fly in the skies, movimiento. Fly in the way que me siento. I'm the light that shatters apart this heart's made of darkness. Stars break the darkest parts of the night. The rhythm of the light. Movement in my sight, my soul bursts too bright. My skin is the color that it's supposed to be. It's brown since my birth with no sunscreen. I got no sunburn neither, we can step outside. I don't need protection, I got indigenous ties. To the land, to the sea, the animals and sky. My skin is a gift to keep my ancestors alive. When illusions of pride hide American lies. All these illusions of pride hide American lies. Illusions of pride hide American lies. My third eye bleeds the night sky. Sana sana colita de rana, sana sana colita de rana. Sana sana colita de rana. I sing songs till my wounds, till my body's in a tune. Sana sana colita de rana, sana sana colita de rana. Sana sana colita de rana. We sing songs to our wounds, to our bodies in a tune. Y soy mi gente, an illegal human being. I got true songs sing. I'ma bring them when I sing. I'm a migrating butterfly moving through the desert, flying through the sky with my ancestors, extended family, nativity. My country tis the tis, the genocide of me. I'll climb over that wall. I don't need a card that screen. I'm in indigenous response to manifest destiny. And we're taking all the jobs from these people. It's funny when they say we're just lazy ass illegals. How can a lazy man take a job? Like I kinda gotta wonder if you ever did your job, right? Not a Latino, never Hispanic. I'm just an indigenous man, speaking in Spanglish. I'm Turtle Island's kid, born from her hip. My style is sick, like smallpox blankets. Gifted to our people on this continent. And now you see why we don't trust the U.S. government. I got a Spanish speaking tongue, but my blood indigenous. Cactus features on my face, I was born to resist. Sana sana, colita de rana, sana sana, colita de rana. Sana sana, colita de rana. I sing songs to my wounds, till my body's in a tune. Vaporu and Vicks, put it on your kids. These are remedies passed down from my abuelitas cause we're sick. Papas en vinagre por el estómago. Or tequila with some lime when I'm fighting off a cold. Tradiciones, acciones, sagrados viven en mi sangre, el estilo de los cosmos. Tattoos and arte, poetry is ours. I got music in my spirit, I got visions from the stars. Mezcal in my mouth, pulque in my cup. Kindness in my heart with my middle finger up. I got mezcal in my mouth, I got pulque in my cup. Got kindness in my heart with my middle finger up. What's up?
We are.
Oh, we're all learning here.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you guys so stoked right now? Success? You've done it. It's your first day.
We did it.
Nice.
We made it happen.
Nice.
I don't know if the stoked is the word. Maybe it'll set in tomorrow after sleep. It's still just like there still aren't actively walking in the building currently to be hung on the walls. So the to-do list is still a little long, but the reception's been really wonderful. And you know, hearing like kids get really excited about it has been really cool. Stuff like that. So the little moments of joy.
Like our kids today. So can you guys just go first off and just introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about yourselves, if you don't mind.
You want to start? Yeah, I can go. So this is DreamMachine. And so this is a lady-led maker and creator collective that was originally spawned on dance floors in Reno. Basically, when I first moved to town, I met some really incredible DJs that were playing really great tunes under easy ups, and was like, hey guys, we can do something different here. And I also just noticed a lot of transplants. Everybody I'd met had moved, and there was a lot of single guys, and the dance floor culture was kind of hurting, and just felt like we could do something by making our parties more artful. And met Adrian, who's here with us, who is a house party, the designer and head collaborator or designer. I don't even know the right word for that. And then Holly and Lina after, and you know, there's no events anymore, so we had to figure out what to do, and this is what we came up with. But yeah, so that's DreamMachine. And then if you guys want to introduce yourselves individually, your backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, sure, I'll start. I'm Holly Spar. I moved to Reno 3 years ago and just tried to get really involved in the artist community. So I met Lina and saw what she had done as an artist in the community, especially with her personal living environment. It really inspired me to see like the way you feel within a space. And so then going out after meeting Lina and making a group of friends and seeing the house party people and how they curated their spaces, I got so entranced by the idea of becoming friends with these wonderful ladies and starting to work with them, because my background is in sculpture and fabrication, to help them do displays and event aesthetics for parties. And then it manifested because of COVID into what we have now, which is a fully curated art experience, immersive art experience.
That's awesome.
Hi, I'm Lina. As you two know, I got my start in Reno building big art on a small scale with you guys at the Generator, which inspired me to do crazy installations and try to make my spaces, like Holly said, as beautiful and immersive as possible. And then met this crazy lady who was already on the scene making events pretty awesome after I had got a little linked up with Rambo doing some of his stuff. And it seemed only natural to just get involved and do as much as possible in the community and kind of become a powerhouse crew together.
Yeah.
And I'm Adrian. I started making art, bringing lights to Burning Man. Our camp needed to be lit up, and I had no idea what I was doing, but like just started figuring out how to put lights together, and then started meeting various artists who taught me to actually build things, and then later on met Vera, who showed me that the power of community and bringing people together, and we started making all kinds of random shit together. And
We made a lot of stuff out of cardboard at first because house music doesn't really have a following in Reno or a budget. And so friends would ask us to make stuff for their parties, and it was like, okay, cool, what's the budget? Oh, $50.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, sounds like we're doing cardboard and spray paint then, because that's what we can afford. And it kind of became a
We
thing.
know a lot
Sounds
about that
familiar.
life. Yeah.
We used to do a very similar type of thing back in Philly
But it was
with a crew called Space Pirates.
yeah, but it was all dubstep. It was like 2009 when dubstep first came on
2010,
came on the scene. So it was like crazy,
Same thing.
Dubstep culture, and we would just use zip ties and 6-pack rings to make jellyfish nets. It was really jank, and then spray paint it, and it'd be chipping off. But people, when people
But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
And when people are drunk,
Brought a lot of
they
people
are
together.
super down with whatever art you do, right?
Yeah.
They're so happy to see it. So yeah, we get it.
Yeah, you turn the lights off, put on a black light. Looks good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
black light.
and that was to Adrian's credit. There was two very pivotal ideas that have just really shaped the trajectory. Where she had the idea of using fluorescence and doing a blacklight party as one of our first parties.
Because you don't want it to be too bright in there, you want people to want to dance. So black lights, you can make the art pop without, overwhelming people with light.
We did it for one of our first big house parties, and people loved it so much that it just became a staple. And it's funny, because even though it seems cheesy and corny, I really love how it brings out a little kid in people, especially older people that are kind of, deadhead age range, where they're kind of oh wow, black eye, that's cool, it just makes them feel like kids again, and which is really cool. But then and then also using repurposed materials, because first we were broke, which is definitely true, but then whenever I would occasionally get lazy and just be okay, let's just Amazon something, Adrian's no, we can do this, we can find something repurposed. And so and now it's really a staple, and it's in there. There's so much stuff made. We're down in the basement right now of our crazy show, and there's so much stuff. Almost everything up there is made of recycled, repurposed, gifted, secondhand stuff, and that's really a part of the whole. There's a lot of messages of the show, but that's one of it is, especially with COVID, the idea of people sitting stuck in their homes, it's we want to, and especially you either with COVID, you either have money or you don't. You're either looking for a job, and you're in our situation where you're, starving artist situation is not as good, or you have a job and you're working from home and you're, have money to spend. And that means that Amazon and e-commerce rates have been e-com has been up 140% or something absurd.
Yeah.
And the boxes that come with that, and the packing material and the stuff. And so we hope that people can leave our show looking at their stuff a little differently, of maybe I can make something silly out of bottle caps in my house that brings me joy. Even if it is stupid, if it makes you smile, well, who cares?
It feels good to make things out of stuff you would normally throw away.
It feels good to do things, and that's what this event is about. With all the events canceled, the mental health crisis that spawned within the artistic community was something that inspired me to paint in the park, and I called it Bummer Summer. And every week on Sunday for 8 weeks, I laid out panel boards that were donated from Third Eye Local Distillery and old scrap paint that I didn't care about, and told everyone in the artist community, hey, I know everything's canceled, but we still have to have community, so we don't all collapse in on ourselves. So get out here, let's paint on these boards. So there's a room in this art show that's an ode to Bummer Summer. Then Bummer Summer was the seed idea about that beautiful experience that can develop within community, once you pull together what can manifest. So Vera launched off from Bummer Summer and dreamed up this huge art show, and with a bunch of brainstorming, a few months of chaos, and 5 days of absolute maximum exertion, physical labor, you can pull together 65 artists and probably over 300 pieces of art at this point. And it's a world of our own.
That it's a lot of artists, man.
Yeah.
It shows there's so much stuff in that show. I really recommend everybody get out there to it, because I mean, just the sheer number of man hours, it's so obvious how much like love and care and attention has gone into it. And it's really awesome. It's really cool to witness that type of, like, just what a huge group community effort that it really is. So
when if you're listening right now and you're at home and you're in a state where you're struggling to leave the house or dealing with high anxiety or depression or things like that, then please know that that is the genesis of the show. That is, that is the whole point was, I was definitely, like Holly mentioned, in a very bad place last summer, especially after all of our events got canceled. And when you're an event planner, that's your whole life, So on top of a bunch of other personal loss, like I was not ready to leave the house. And it was one of those things where, where your friend invites you to something and you're supposed to go and you don't go, and you're supposed to go and you don't go. So I finally went, and
wait, who does that? Not me.
Yeah, right. Nobody does that. But so I finally went and was so inspired seeing the community members that were like, just people that weren't even painting, that just showed up, that were so excited, like, see you next week, Holly. Like, just so excited to have somebody to talk to, and it just like, it made me realize how much that even though I didn't want to leave the house that day, that it helped. So if you're sitting at home feeling like you don't want to leave the house, then we feel you. We don't want to leave the house either. And we would love it if you would come and see the house that we built, those feelings. And, because there's a lot of, really cool art that came here from, the last winter of COVID from these artists.
Like, and you could be cozy.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a living room. If you're cozy at home, come get cozy in these spaces that we built, because there's plenty of cuddling to do with everything.
Yeah, talk about your fiber art.
What to say? So one of my skills is I'm a human collector and connector. So I collect a lot of really crazy people and artists. And when Vera tasked me with creating a meadow, I reached into my jar of all of my amazing maker friends, and I pulled a couple out, dusted them off, and said, hey, do you want to make a bug or a woodland animal or a flower? And sent them off into the world, and then allowed them all to create things within their own mediums and their own styles. And I have, over 40 pieces from, probably close to actually more like 60 pieces from local ceramicists, glass blowers, a couple of different textile artists who sewed and knit and crocheted, tons of painters. We even have Turtle from Baba Yaga, who created this crazy copper moth, which is
it's
gorgeous.
so cool.
Hey, Turtle! And I'm so in love with it. Mothra, he's calling it.
It's so good.
Just bringing so many people in the community together and like creating stuff from donated materials and repurposed art has just been so rewarding. And seeing what all of my friends have been able to craft and create and make from garbage, or the stuff they're able to dust off they forgot existed, it's so beautiful to see it come together.
Well, it's so cool, and you guys should all be so proud.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this for the community. We understand how much work it is to like coordinate, and it's a labor of love, and the love is visible. So thank you so much, and thank you for taking time on your opening night to stream in with us here. That's so cool. We super appreciate it.
Everyone needs to go check it out. It's
go check it out.
It's like an Easter egg hunt of local Reno artists. It's so fun. I love like going through and just being like, oh yeah, that's like, Nick Noyes, and that's, Josie Rock, and just like seeing like, and Ruby Joe, and like all of my homies like represented there. That was like so
cool.
Sweet, especially because like you were saying, we haven't seen each other or each other's art in so long. So, like, thanks for making it easy for me to see all of the shit my friends are doing in one place.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a lot of bang for your buck. We're already thinking about going a second time. We're definitely going to
We're
go
definitely
back.
going again.
And yeah.
We definitely have to make sure that we say a big thank you, because this is not something that you achieve by yourself. You know, we've got 64 artists, but I think over 150 volunteers, donors, people that have showed up and dropped us off hot soup and making sure that we were fed and cared for during the build, and people that showed up and let us order them around and be smiled while we did it. And we made, right when you walk in, there's a giant flower wall made of trash bags, and that is where those are trash bags just like from Target and everywhere else that all the volunteers cut up together, and then I painted onto that wall. And so that's each trash bag stays on the planet about 500 years after we do. So collectively we've saved 500 years of trash, and it's just I hope that you guys can come and see what everyone has done, because it's it's really amazing what the artists and volunteers and community has come together to make. Like, when we started this, I didn't think it was going to be this big, honestly. But I'm so happy that it's taken on this life. And anybody can come down. We're really trying. It's our first time, so if it's a little confusing, please bear with us. But kind of like a restaurant idea, the goal was, especially because it's COVID and we're trying our best to be safe for the artists that share the makerspace space. The idea is one group at a time, haunted house style. If you want to make a reservation so you don't have to wait because you don't want to get stuck in the cold or whatever, you can do so online, but you can always get tickets at the door. And you will be served just like a restaurant. You just might have to wait a minute. And then, we just, the hours are online, DreamMachineReno.com, and we can't wait to see you here.
Yeah, we'll drop the link in the chat.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks so much, ladies. Congratulations. And thanks so much for chiming in, for calling in, and have an amazing night.
Yeah, have a great rest of your opening reception. Go party, celebrate.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye. That was so rad.
We're back.
What an awesome group of maker women. Yeah. It's so rad. We went this morning, like we said, and we walked through with our families and got to experience it. And it had such a good community vibe. Mm-hmm. It felt like the old days, the pre-COVID days.
Yeah. We could all use a little bit of those feelings.
Yeah.
Right now.
And I'm so inspired by like this group of strong women getting all these people together to do collaborative art in a really beautiful way with all these volunteers. And yeah, it really shows. It's gorgeous.
Check it out. Don't miss it. You got a whole month. DreamMachineReno.com.
Yeah. Make sure you go.
Okay, what's up next?
Well, we can jump into this Orlando and Ruben Nino Santo interview.
Yeah, so we have another interview for you. This one's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
It's edited down. We actually talked for like an hour.
Yeah.
The interview went for a half an hour, and then we talked about gardening for another half an hour, because it was just that kind of a call. So
yeah, for real.
Throw that on for you.
I just need to make sure that's what I have queued up next. Hold on.
Oh, look, I got you some more.
Bear with us. Okay, here it is.
Yeah, all right. And I'm going to transition in a second. It's about to happen.
I go by Sana. This is Rubavelli.
I'm Rubavelli.
And we are Nino Santo. I do the vocals.
And I'm the beat producer. So I make the pulse and the rhythms for the group.
Sweet.
Yeah,
that one sounds really legit. I was wondering like if that was on you for the like all the rhythms and stuff. So good.
Yeah, do you want to talk to us a little bit about your creative process? Like how you get this, how you're getting this work done?
Man, it's really just sitting, having late nights pretty much, and just jamming out. I mean, it's not special really. It's just getting in there and doing some work.
Well, even if you don't feel like the process is special, the product certainly is. So.
Yeah, for sure.
How important is that time, dude? Is that time frame?
Oh man, it's very important. It's very important.
A late night, you mean?
Oh yeah, it's like 3 in the mornings. You know, that's when the creative flow comes out.
Do you just record it in your house? Like where did you guys record?
We're recording with our boy Niles Quinn. So he's got like a studio set up at his home too. Sweet. So he recorded all the vocals, and then he did the mastering and the mixing.
Yeah, it sounds great. Was he involved on the music videos?
Yeah.
Broken Minds. Yeah.
Cool.
He was in there. He was in there like filling up a water canteen in one of the parts, and he helped us carry some stuff. It was funny.
Okay, yeah,
You know,
yeah. Just like maybe the guy that was like up on the hill with you guys at the one
Yeah.
shot.
yeah, that's Niles.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool stuff. Speaking of music videos, I personally had a question. So video Sana Sana, could you speak to that phrase? I personally speak a little Spanish. So I can translate it, but obviously there's a cultural context to the phrase colita de rana that I'm not familiar with, and I bet some of our viewers aren't. But I'd love to hear why you chose that for the refrain.
It's like something we grew up with our moms. Our friend said it very like better. Her name's Ana de la Tierra, and she said that it's like a spell. It's like a healing spell that moms use for their kids. You know, so
Oh,
like
cool.
if you're like a kid and you fall and you like bump your knee or something like that, your mom will come and she'll like rub your knee. And she'll be like sana sana colita de rana.
It's to get you to stop crying, pretty much, huh?
Yeah, to get you to stop crying, to make you feel better. And it's like, I swear it feels good. You know, like it makes you feel better. You feel like, oh, yeah, it's doing something. But like, it literally means like heal, colita de
Oh,
rana.
yeah. And then, of course, you've incorporated that into your stage name.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Performer.
feel like what I'm trying to do musically is like, I was already doing poetry before this.
Mhm.
And like my poems were like, they were like a diagnosis of society, painting a picture so that hopefully people would be motivated to create change or just understand things. You know, I feel like we can't do anything unless we have a understanding. You know, we can't do anything unless we're from a point of truth. And so I chose that name as like a way of like I want the music to create healing. You
Yeah.
know, and it's like it's somehow it's like it's kind of like coarse and stuff sometimes, but I feel like it's necessary because it's part of the process. You know, you can't really heal anything unless you understand that you got
Yeah,
like a
there's
knife in your leg or something. You know, like you're not gonna heal that with it in there. You got to see it first, and you got to pull it out, and then you got to go through the process. And like the two songs that we've released so far, like as music videos, because we released the whole project already last week. The two ones that we got music videos for, those are like kind of like more of that diagnostic process. But then we got some other healing songs like kind of towards the end of the album too that a lot of prayer songs and stuff too. So we're trying
yeah.
to just take it all those places. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the ones that you have out right now, there's a lot of like direct confrontation of trauma. And then some of the ones later in the album seem like a little softer. That felt to me a little bit like kind of coming around to the more like getting to that healing. It's a really cool progression. And I know we both appreciated the way that it's very head on, you guys, with your, the confrontation of these like very real systemic traumas. And
yeah, I feel like I really appreciated like how genuine everything is, like how you're just really direct with like how traumatic and difficult things can be, but that you can come back and like be healing and help, like the song where you're talking about your son and like raising your son is like, an act of like healing and defiance and like rising up. I just thought was like so beautiful, right? Like there's this pain in the album, but there's also this beauty and brightness, and I just like really appreciated that and thought it was beautiful.
There's always this understanding that we have historical trauma that's like going through our DNA, but I don't think people talk enough also about the resilience, that we have too. And I think like that's important to share that part of the story. I think that's why we wanted it to be well balanced, because sometimes I can go like really dark for like a really long time, but I was like, I don't want to take somebody to that place without like offering any type of solution. So I was trying to be conscious of that when we were creating this album. And like our name Nino Santo, like it's it like comes from this lady named Maria Sabina. She was a healer from Mexico, an indigenous healer, and she'd use mushroom medicine for her healing. And she'd call the little mushrooms, she'd call them Nino Santos, like
that's so
little like
cute.
saints. Yeah, like little saints. And our music, we're trying to like take people on a trip, and like anybody that's used like medicinal like mushrooms or psychotropic chemistry, right? Like it can be very intense, and it can really like take you out of yourself so you can see yourself, and sometimes it's not the nicest, but then afterwards it's like you usually come out better because you have that understanding. And so we were trying to kind of like take that approach of like all this stuff's happening, take people that aren't from our community to understand what it feels like to be in our shoes, and then people inside of our community to hopefully appreciate that these stories are being told, that
Mhm.
that we're not invisible. And so and then afterwards, like these different powers that we do have, because a lot of times when we're dealing with these things, like it's easy to feel powerless. It's easy to go down into despair, but we don't want that to be the route. We want people to understand that we can come together and like do things, but it has to come from a place of truth and understanding. And so that's why it's like I always got to be direct. Like, yeah, we can hug it out. Yeah, we can build some stuff. Yes, we're all people. I agree with that. That's facts. But we need to start understanding people's positions and where we come from, so that then we can have real conversations and build real relationships. It can't be like this thing
Absolutely.
where we're always coming and we have to conform to a white narrative,
Yeah.
or we have to like suppress parts of ourselves to be able to have this um wholeness or oneness that people talk about. It's like I don't really like when people say I don't see color and things like that, because it's
Yeah.
like I'm I am my color and there's nothing wrong with that. And other people have their colors too, and that's what makes life beautiful, is the diversity of it.
Yeah.
And so like we should celebrate those differences and come together and really come with like solutions. We shouldn't have to be like, it shouldn't be this power trip of like one group has to be under the other or something like that.
Absolutely. You have some like really cool, powerful lines about that,
Yeah.
about skin color and about the heritage. I love how your videos are kind of like a peek into things that you're doing, like especially your newer one. It's kind of like a little peek into into your life. But then when you talk about this, like nod to sort of psychedelic therapeutics and things like that, you can really see that in that video, the direction you took it. Do you have any more music videos in the works?
We got one that we're like sitting on right now that we're gonna release when the time is right, probably in like the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got that one. It's all like edited, ready to go. It's for that song on there called The Void.
Oh, cool.
And then we're
Nice.
gonna be making like another video. We just got a new project that we got to work on. Like we got like a 2 month deadline, so that one's gonna come out on its own time, and that's like separate from the album even. So we're just trying to keep it moving, trying to keep
Yeah.
up though too. It's like it's happening kind of fast, but it's good. It's
That's
it's
awesome.
good opportunities happening.
I love that part where you clipped in someone's voice where they were talking about what you're doing for the community and you're building up the community. I was
My brother
curious how that
Brian.
came about. What?
My brother Brian.
Oh, it's your brother. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rad. You guys just did your big album release. And I know you did a virtual event for that, which is really cool, like creating in the age of COVID, right?
I know it's so difficult. Yes.
Do you have any reflections on that you'd like to share on that process?
I hope that pretty soon we could all get together and jam out,
Yeah.
because it is different, like being in front of a camera.
It's not the same. Huh?
Yeah, you don't get the same type of feedback because you don't see the people directly. Like unless if I was like all up in the screen, to like see what people are doing and if people have video back. But
Yeah.
still, it's not the same as like, when you're out there and you get to see like people giving you their energy, because sometimes people will like bob their head or something, or sometimes you just see people listening, like just straight up hearing you. And it's like, I mean, that's kind of what I get. Like, I don't know if like, I feel like our beats make people bob their heads and stuff.
Mhm.
But I think like a lot of times they listen to the words, and I could see people kind of stopping, and I'm like, oh shit, like, is that a good thing that they're not moving that much? But then I think it's just they're tuning into the words, so that's a good thing,
It's
but
definitely cerebral, so I could see that.
And like having that, that connection, I feel like we all are missing that so much. But yeah, especially when it's like you're putting your art out there and then you want that connection feedback back, and it's just in a void right now.
Yeah, you're kind of just like putting it out there and you're like, ooh.
I know I was talking to my friend Redfield Clipper. I had him on my radio show yesterday.
Mhm.
And we were talking about that and how like difficult it is right now, because like as an artist, sometimes it's easy to feel misunderstood when you have a lot to say, and not a lot of times you have the opportunities to have real conversations with people that are receptive to your words. So like when you create art, you're having like really deep, intimate conversations from like parts of your spirit and your heart, and you get to share those with people. And when you get to do it live, it's very reciprocal. And it's like you get the full conversation. But right now it's like we're kind of in this place where we're creating and then we're just putting it out, and we don't get to get that feedback the same way. So that's a little difficult, but it's challenging us to be more creative. Like we're doing a lot more with like video and stuff. We're trying to really just create good material for people to see. That like takes time. We do spend a lot of time editing. Like that Sana video, like Rube, he recorded the whole thing. and then we edited it together on our own. So like that was all us. So we're like taking on more roles,
Yeah,
You did a
learning
great
more
job.
things.
nice.
You did an awesome job.
Yeah, it's super dope. How did you feel like going through the process of like writing all these songs, writing all these beats, making this whole album and putting it all together and now like seeing it come together? Like what was it like a healing in itself to just do that act?
For me, I can speak for myself. It was, because there was a lot of lines that were really intimate in there. Some stuff that I even like question, like, is this something that I should be sharing with people? But
Mhm.
then at the same time, like I think it's important because a lot of times it's easy to feel like alone, when you're going through like difficult times. So I think like some of the stuff like doing that was therapeutic for me to get it off my chest. But then also like that song All We Need, like that was just a straight prayer for me. And every time I listen to it, it's still the same way, and I think that's like my favorite song in the album because of that, you know. But
It's my favorite on the album, actually, too.
oh yeah, that's what's up.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it was for me. Well, how about you, Rue? Like,
As for the whole project, for me, it was I mean, it took us what, over 2 years maybe to get to this
wow.
point finally,
Wow.
and it was a lot of trial and error for sure, but
Definitely.
and a lot of growth came there, and we also met a lot of people on the way, so it was a whole journey for sure. But I'm grateful that it came out finally, and we're here.
Yeah, we
So are
like
we.
we
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing
we
this
we
It
and
tried to
doing
do
this
it.
like work. I mean, it's
Yeah,
deep work to be so vulnerable. It's
yeah,
really, it's a real gift.
for
So
sure.
thank you guys.
Yeah, for real. I really felt very inspired by it and was like these, like watching you guys show up in your music just made me be like, I want to be more authentic in the art that I produce. So thanks for that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, and we're like just trying to like put on people in our community, like in our space. Like we're making smoothies in the video. Like that's what we
Yeah,
do. And then like
I
my
love
brother
that.
there, and he's someone that inspires me. He's like someone very powerful. So we're just trying to like tell the stories of like people that are doing things in our community. Like a lot of times we don't get those opportunities to hear that, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of beautiful people in our community, and like some people like kind of shit on Reno and treat it a certain way, and it's like
sure.
I don't think you're around the right people, man, because I see like people
I agree
doing
with that.
all these like guest appearances from like people that are just
Yeah.
like hella close to us. That
Yeah, they're
part
awesome
of our
artists,
life.
got Ruby Joe in there and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like I think what we really want to do is like yeah, we're Nino Santo, and it's like me and my brother, but it's like there's so many people that support us that we're like connected to, and it's like we just want to like people to know that, that like we receive a lot of love and we want to give it back, Dope earrings too, by the way. Those are the ones that
Yeah.
Sabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leslie got a pair of those. Those are hella dope. Yeah,
Nice.
and that's what's
Yeah.
cool too. Like seeing that, like it's like seeing other people just creating things. It's important. I feel like it's very spiritual.
Okay, so my last question was, what advice would you give to a young artist who wants to produce their own album one day and is like just starting to write music and stuff and wants to get to this level of having a full album come out, and making music videos? Like, what's the biggest piece of advice that you wish somebody had told you?
I mean, what really stunted our growth on kind of getting this out was we needed Niles to produce it and master it. Cause like before that, we tried doing it on our own. It sounded amateur, so it's like it wouldn't have gotten the point across. It would have been
Mhm.
too much focus on that. I'd
Gotten its own
say,
way in that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say anybody that's coming up and trying to do things to be genuine. When people tell the same stories all the time, but tell them from your perspective.
Mhm.
And be honest about it. Because I think like people sometimes want to do what's getting attention already. You can only give the best of yourself when you're actually yourself. And if you want to be the best artist you can be, you got to be yourself first. you know and if you need help along the way, then you got to find ways to get that help that you need. Like we needed Niles to help us do this. Once that came together, everything came together.
Yeah.
Like that's what we were missing. Before that we were trying to figure it out on our own, and we were trying to just do it all, and it was beyond our means at the moment. Like, if you got to get the help, get the help. So right now we're getting this next project together. So he's really like knocking out hella material, and I think that's really important too. As myself too as a writer, I write a lot. I write a lot, and you don't show everything to everybody. Some of the
Mhm.
stuff is just sketches you throw away, but it keeps you sharp. So then that when opportunity comes, you're prepared for it.
Mhm.
Because it's like you could be prepared, and then all of a sudden you're not consistent, so you don't get those opportunities. But preparation and consistency, when opportunities come, it all comes together, and then that's where creation happens in a way that can move you forward. You got to work hard, if you want it, because
Yep,
ain't no guarantees in this, ain't no guarantees in nothing. I mean, we're
absolutely.
just starting off. We're hoping that we can do something, and it's like, and we're getting good feedback locally. Hopefully,
Mhm.
like once the COVID stuff passes, we can tour, and hopefully more people will be receptive to it. We got our project and we're happy with it, so that's really dope. It's a good feeling. It's one of
Yeah,
those.
absolutely.
It's so awesome to have both of you here and learn about the process and just
Mhm.
like how you produce this dope work. And yeah, I feel like Reno's better because of it, and it's gonna add a new
Absolutely.
layer to Reno, and that's really rad. And thanks for everything that you do. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we're big
Guys,
fans.
Thanks for
for
having
having us
us.
on.
Hey, y'all.
We hope you liked that interview. It was so much fun. It was
Yeah, it
so
really was.
nice to talk to them. Hold on. We got background music.
Soothing background music.
Yeah. So the album is on. I feel like we didn't even talk about that. It's on like everything. You can get it everywhere.
You can stream it on Spotify right
Yeah.
now.
Spotify is the easiest way, I think, to just go and find it. But it's also on YouTube, and all you have to just do is put in Nino Santo music and also Revolutionary
Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can stream the whole album for free on Spotify. It's great. It's a really great album. Go check it out.
Yeah, it's super deep and powerful, and it's something you need to hear. So go listen to it now. And also,
You can wait like 10 more minutes till the stream's
Yeah.
over.
I mean, whatever.
And
If you need to
then-
just go,
Yeah,
just
if
go
you need
listen.
to go, like, you gotta do you.
But we are, we're low key talking about having them come and perform one day soon at the new generator at Bell Street. So maybe you'll be able to come and see them live sometime soon. Hopefully.
I hope so, man.
I know. I'm over it. Okay, so next up we have Erin, who's our new director of Impact.
Yeah.
So exciting! We have a new lady at the generator, like helping us make it more awesome, and we're so stoked. And she wants to have a new segment. So this is the first part where she's gonna just signal boost different businesses and organizations that she loves here in Reno. So we're gonna start with her first one ever, her first segment ever. Let me cue it up for ya. Try to make it smooth. All right, Rad, let's do it.
Hey everybody, I'm Erin Brothers. Hi, how you doing? I'm the new director of Impact at the Reno Generator. I wanted to come on and say hi because I haven't been able to meet a lot of you face to face yet, or even mask to mask. But that's gonna happen soon. Or we have that temporary building that's coming. Look out for some emails and newsletters about when you have a chance to come in and check out the building and take a tour. But until then, I wanted to say hello, let you know a little bit about myself. I'm from Hawaii. I grew up with being raised by a single mother who was a fine artist as a living. So I've been doing art since before I had a choice. Now, since then, I worked in film and television. I worked at Circus Center in San Francisco for a while. I worked in arts education for underserved community and low-income youth. And now I live in Sparks, and I'm the director of Impact at the Generator. So since I'm here in my neighborhood in Old Sparks, I wanted to introduce you to one of my neighbors. This is the soap shop. Welcome to Sage House Soapworks. This is Sarah. Hi. She is the maker of all the soaps and bath bombs and lotion bars and everything you're gonna see. She's making some bath bomb shamrocks right now. That's a studio assistant. Ooh, check out everything she's been making, all these new soaps. So everything's available on her website and totally locally made right now. Sarah's big project is she's getting started doing a monthly mail subscription for a soap box. So this is March. If you guys want to support local business, get her started. Maybe she can do this every month if enough people are interested. It's got soap and art and bath bombs, and everything was made right here in Sparks in my neighborhood by Sage House Soapworks. Cool. Well, enjoy the rest of the Signal Boost and everybody that's being featured here this week. We'll see you later.
Yay!
Thanks, Erin.
Yeah, thanks, Erin. We're so stoked to have her on the team, and we're so excited. I guess, did we even announce? We didn't get to announce Bell Street last week. This is the first week that we've announced Bell Street. So, if you don't already know, we have a new location for the generator. It's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
We're still working on Audi. That's still happening. It's just super slow because COVID. Yeah. So that's still like in the works, but we were like, we have to have a space, like in the interim. We have to be doing something. We miss our community. We miss making art. Like, let's find a spot. And luckily, there was a spot to be found. We found this really cool place. It used to be called Cathexis. It's like an architecture firm building, and it's really rad.
It's a cool building.
It's so cool. There's an indoor basketball court. We're going to play b-ball March 11th at 6 p.m.
Shooting hoops.
Oh God, is that this week? Oh my God.
And we'll probably, hopefully pretty soon, we'll start streaming Signal Boost from the new Bell Street location.
Yeah, we're
there for 6 months, and with the possibility of extension depending on what's happening with Audi.
Yeah, and we'll have, so it's not going to be the same. It's smaller, and it's just not going to be a giant warehouse. It's more labyrinthine. How do we say it? Whatever. So what do we have is we're going to have a wood shop, textiles, tech lab, screen printing, the CNC router, the laser cutter. So a lot of really cool things that you guys want to come and use, and we just won't have metal, or ceramics.
And there's going to be some flex space for members to come and like post up for the day working on a project, that kind of thing. So, and I'm going to be starting some new kids programs. We're rolling out a new project called Jenny Box, and if you are interested in that, please check out the renogenerator.com/kids. And that's for anyone, well, kids, or adults, it's for everybody. And that is for at home. So I'm creating a series of content. It's sort of like an online workshop series, and you order the box and you get literally everything you need. Like nothing, you don't need to provide anything, and to follow along on these 8 different workshops. So if that sounds like something you would like, or there's a kid in your life that you want to get them a really cool, unique educational gift, it's an awesome gift. So check it out, renogenerator.com/kids. And hopefully we'll be doing some in-person kids stuff by the summer at Bell Street. So keep an eye out. Also at that same page, there is a mailing list sign up, and that's specifically, there's 2 mailing list signups, but if you're already on the regular generator mailing list, that's fine. But if you want to join the one that's just for kids stuff, we have a sign up for that now too. So go to that website and you can find that there.
Yeah, we are definitely planning on having a lot of awesome programming at the new space, including some kids activities.
But adult workshops too are going to be back.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're really
screen
excited
printing
about that.
Yes, and there's so much more, and I want to tell you so much more, but we gotta,
We're already running a little over time. Thanks for sticking with us. It's been a weird night with technical difficulties, but we're learning a lot.
Yeah,
it's getting better and better.
Yeah, literally every week. Yeah, we come in and we're like, okay, now we know this and this and this, and then we think it's gonna be smooth, and then there's still more things to learn. Go figure. Cool. Well, I want to do our Instagram roundup right now. That's what Alicia has decided that we're going to call it, and I think it's a great name.
Surfing Instagram with Sprocket.
Like, come along on the internet with me. Oh my goodness, guys. I kind of love it though. All right, rad. So, in the news, in the gram, catch me on the gram news, Glass Die, if you don't already know. You know what, I'm going to put us in here because I think it's more funny if you can see our face reacts, right? I'll make it happen really fast. But the Glass Die is a local bar that's also a gaming spot, and it has like a ton of board games.
It's kind of more like a gaming spot that also has a bar.
Yes, here.
Put it's
Alicia
really
up
cool.
There. Yeah, I have never been. Have you?
Yes, I've been there. It's very cool, and they have this thing too where you can roll a d20 and pick, and they've got 20 different like beers and ciders and things, and you roll the d20 and you get a discount if you get the one that you roll. I think you can roll twice.
Oh my god.
It's kind of a cool little thing that make really cool. Little fun.
Hey, maybe they don't know what a D20 is. Me and Alicia have matching D20 tattoos.
That's true.
This is how nerdy we are. We can't even really do it. From Little Bird, because we, every Sunday we play D&D together, Dungeons & Dragons. So if you don't understand all this nerd speak, that's cool. But if you do understand all this nerd speak...
But if you want to understand it and you don't, go to the Glass Die.
Yeah, so you go there, you get a pint, and there's a bajillion board games. You can see it all over here. Look at all these games.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot.
And they've been closed because of COVID, obviously. So they just reopened. And you have to reserve a table if you want a spot inside. And the patio is first come, first serve. But they've been struggling a lot because they haven't been able to be open fully. So please go over there, wear a mask, go with your COVID pod.
COVID pod night out.
And support these guys because they're amazing. And you know what? Even I have I've got some coupons for the Glass Die. If you want a coupon, I swear, because we partnered with them for our holiday thing. So if you want a discount at the Glass Die, I believe it's for a free cider, kombucha, or beer. Hit us up, DM us at the Reno Generator Instagram or Facebook, or the Punk Rock Fleet Instagram or Facebook, and I literally
it's a postcard. We'll pop it in the mail.
Yeah, we'll mail you a postcard, and you'll get a free drink at the Glass Die.
Yeah.
Baller. I forgot I even had those. There you go.
Cool.
They're around somewhere.
So what's next?
Next is Kendall. Kendall is awesome. She often makes stuff for the flea market and is a vendor there every year. And she just today launched her clothing, her first clothing
t-shirt line.
Yeah, t-shirt line ever. And it actually is screen printed right here in Reno with eco-friendly dye by Ray, who's Zeppy Stardust. And Ray did all of our shirts for the flea market, and we're going to have them on next week to talk about zine making. Yeah. So that's going to be really
And they're
rad.
a member at the Generator, and they have their own really cool line of stuff, so you want to check them out too.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up here's the rabbit, and this is art by Kendall. You can see, go there, get a t-shirt. These are super sick jackrabbits. But yeah, Ray teaches all of our screen printing workshops at the Generator and has for many years. So Zeppy Stardust Studios on Etsy. So many cool things. Obsessed with these cat stickers. Oh my gosh.
Great. Check them out.
Holographic, weatherproof, 12 colorways. And also as part of the little zine project here too. So
the little zine library project, which is a really cute project.
Yeah, so cool. And we just dropped off a bunch of the Reno Punk Rock Flea Market zines into the little zine library. So if you want to go over there and snag yourself a zine, you should. Take one.
Look it up on Instagram.
All right, more cool stuff happening. Bam! Look at that. This was just announced 13 hours ago. I'm kind of stoked about it. It's on the Retrack pad. That's where we used to have Reno Sculpture Fest.
And this is a rendering. Obviously.
Yeah, this is a rendering. They just announced who the artist is. It's this dude, Brad Carney, and he'll be starting this gigantic mural this spring. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks really
And also the Bell Street Generator is actually pretty close by. So maybe we'll have to go over and
we'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out and do a signal boost interview with this guy while he's painting.
Yeah,
Thinking ahead.
Maybe.
More cool art coming to Reno. Some mesh trees. What? At the Wells Underpass.
Nice.
Yeah, these giant mesh trees. I don't know much about it.
It's the National Endowment for the Arts.
Yeah. I don't know much about the design or the artist, really. But you can always, if you guys don't know about Double Scoop.
Yeah, you got to follow Double Scoop.
Yeah, so Double Scoop.
If you want to stay up with the Reno art happenings.
Yeah, all of Nevada art happenings. They now have a person in Vegas who's writing about Vegas all the time. And they do a Friday art news roundup every Friday. We were actually, I think we were in it last Friday.
We were. There's a picture of me in it, actually.
But it's really great. You should follow their newsletter and follow them on Instagram if you care about art, which you do because you're tuning into Signal Boost. Hey, you should also follow them because they.
If you're following us, you should be following them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of art opportunities too, and I wanted to kind of give a shout out to that. Both Carson City and Tonopah are looking for muralists right now, and how cool is that? Like, submit your stuff. If you haven't ever submitted to a city level thing before, it can be really intimidating. And you might be like, I never want to have to write a resume. That's totally fair, and we all feel like that. Trust me. Like, I've talked to some like really amazing, prolific, fantastic professional artists who are still afraid of writing their resume. But once you do it, you can apply to so many city things, and the more you do it, the better you get. And then one day maybe you'll be like Bryce and be painting a bunch of murals.
Painting the mural in Tonopah, and then you can stay at the Clown Motel.
Yes, and then we will Zoom you in, and you'll be like, I saw this on Signal Boost, and now I'm here painting the mural, and we'll be like, yes.
Totally.
Championing, cheerleading for you. So do it. Send in your thing. Do this mural, please. We want to see the art that you make.
Your to-do list is get your artist resume together. Go check out Nino Santo. Stream their album. Go check out A World of Our Own.
And sign up for the Double Scoop newsletter.
Double Scoop newsletter, yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot to do.
It's your homework, so
yeah.
we'll leave you with that.
Yeah, we'll check back in next week to make sure you did your homework, okay?
All right.
Thanks for sticking with us. We love y'all. Thanks for being here. Remember that you can be on the stream. We'll interview you. We'll play your video. All you have to do, you can DM us if you're like confused about how to do it, or just send us via Dropbox or Google Drive, or just a YouTube link.
Like record a video on your phone. Send it over. No project's too small. We want to talk about what you're doing.
Yeah. All of Northern Nevada. We're down for it all. And it's info@rprfm.org. Send us your stuff. We want to see it. See you next week.
Good night.
Oh.